Hey YouTube, FOZ here with a DVD review of Friday the 13th, The Killer Cuts. Now, I saw this at the theater when it actually came out, and like Andy from the band says, first 20 minutes are pretty kick-ass. Like, you get in for a good ride and everything with it, then it just fucking drops the ball and fucking sucks the rest of the way. The Killer Cut, I knew it was just going to be like, I don't know what they extended. Like, really, it seemed like nothing. I'm sure there was just some extra blood, like in one of the death scenes or two of the death scenes, and maybe some extra tits, but I remember all the same tits from before. But really, that's the only thing the Killer Cut is, it seemed, was probably a little extra blood squirting from people. And I was hoping that would make it better, like the movie would be better, like it's director's cut, so maybe it's better than what I saw in the theater, but no, it's still the same bullshit. And where I work at Movie Gallery, I've gotten this, a few days early before it comes out on Tuesday, before it streets, and we always only get the single disc version, unless we get it on Blu-ray, which we did, but I don't have a Blu-ray player. And it will have, the two discs that's in there. Like Mobile Valentine actually came in 3D on that, and the DVDs are only the 2D versions, the single disc. And so I figured that was how it was going to be a Friday the 13th Killer Cut, because I hadn't been paying much attention, to when it was coming out and everything, because I wasn't too impressed with it. So I got the DVD, and I looked up on Amazon to see, like, okay, what are all the special features on the 2-disc version? Apparently, there is no 2-disc version. There's a Blu-ray that has extra special features on there, but just looks like more featurettes. I don't think I saw a commentary on there, and that's what I was really surprised about on the single disc, was there was no commentary. Because usually, at least on the single disc, you'll get commentary with it, and then all the special features on the second disc. But on this one, it's like a featurette, a couple of deleted scenes, and that's it, no commentary. And it's, I don't know. They just dropped the ball with this release. I mean, because they could have packed it out, and the people who hated it, like me, would have bought a 2-disc, or, even a 3-disc, just to have it to complete their Friday the 13th collection, just to nerd out over it. They could have made some money more so than they're going to, with, a big special edition. They just didn't. It's probably going to come out with a special edition around Halloween now, like how Rob Zombie's Halloween did. Everybody bought the 2-disc, and then like a few months later came out with the 3-disc. It's probably what's going to happen. Anyways, about the movie, I'm sure most people watching this have seen the originals and probably even seen this, but for those that don't know, this Friday the 13th reboot, remake, whatever the fuck you want to call it, pretty much takes 1 through 3, maybe a little bit of 4 here and there, but no Tommy Jarvis, and just puts them all together in a really sucky way. Basically, the end of part 1 is at the beginning of this one. That's how it starts out, the end of part 1, basically, where, the mother gets beheaded, but this time it's in the forest and Jason's watching. And that starts off the part that bothers me. Okay, one of the parts. Okay, in this, I've always heard, in the featurette they were talking about, and I always heard in the interviews beforehand, that they want to make Jason real. Jason runs in this. He's a, a man growing up in the woods. He's a savage. He's a real person. He's not supernatural. Okay, but he drowned, and then he came back. So how the fuck did that happen if he's not supernatural, he's a real person? They could have easily said, oh, they thought he drowned or something like that, but they didn't say shit. They just said he drowned. Oh, and then he was there watching. It just didn't, it doesn't fucking work. It's the same way with, how they did Michael Myers in Halloween. It seems now they're wanting him to become this supernatural thing where Rob Zombie tried so hard, and the whole first fucking movie was about how he was a normal person that just had this, blank evilness inside him or whatever. Both of those fucking characters need to be the boogeyman in the woods, what they were originally supposed to be. Give them backstories, sure, I'm all for that, but don't make them, don't try to go all psychological on them and everything. Freddy vs. Jason was even pushing it when they were like, he's afraid of water. but he's been through water in every fucking movie. Anyways, back to this story. So that's the beginning of it. That's how Jason, picks up the machete and everything in his mother's head at the beginning of it. And then it goes to, all these years later. That was back in the early 80s or late 70s or something. And it goes to present day. These group of kids going in the woods. They'd heard about some weed, and there were all these weed growing in the woods, all wild, and they were going to grab it, make a quick buck on it and get fucked up. And, of course, sex, drugs, rock and roll kick in. And the first 20 minutes, that's the part I was talking about, that's a really cool part. All the deaths are really good. The people, they're one-dimensional, but, hey, they're going to be gone soon. It's the beginning of the movie. It's pretty good. Okay, so after that, you get the big action, intense, good kills, scenes. Then it goes to a new group of kids 6 months later, or 6 weeks later. 6 weeks, I think, yeah. And you see them coming up to a cabin by Crystal Lake to fuck around. And Jared Padalecki from Supernatural, one of my favorite shows, shows up in this, looking for a sister who was part of the first group. And he's looking around for her, and it never showed her getting killed at the beginning. And, as you learn later on, and as you suspected the whole time, she's actually lived, from that. Sorry, I don't think that was a spoiler for anybody. But, so, of course he hooks up with the one good girl from that group, while the rest, smoke weed and are dumb one-dimensional characters, showing off their big tits and acting retarded. All the guys are getting fucked up and either fucking or jerking off. You hate the characters. You just want them all to die. There's not one that you want to see live. Like, even the ones you kind of like the comedy relief people, like the one dude from Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, he's in it. He's kind of cool, but you still want him to die. He's going to die. So they just get whacked off in various ways, some clever, some not. I mean, that was one cool thing about the movie. They had some good kills, but some, I don't really like seeing Jason use a bow and fucking arrow. Anyways, so they get picked off, and eventually, the brother, Jared Padalecki's character, and the good girl figure out, oh shit, madman in the woods, what's going on? And they go back trying to warn the others, and shit goes downhill from there. And the town sheriff I saw in there, I've noticed him in other stuff, but I can't think of his name. I should have IMDb'd it earlier, but he seemed like a good character that was way underused. I saw in the deleted scene there was more with him. But overall, it was just bullshit. In the ending, I'm not going to spoil it for people, but I guess they wanted to do something that was like the original ending. And it just doesn't work. It goes back to that whole thing. If Jason's a real person, you put the whole movie around him being a real person. Why is all of a sudden he being like a supernatural thing? And that's really fucked up. And the one thing that bothered me more than anything in this movie was there was a scene when one of the guys was running and he comes across his truck in the road. And, the guy's not in the truck, not really doing nothing but waving his hand, like, come here. And in the back of everybody's mind, and in the back of that character's mind, it's like, oh shit, it's Jason, he's gonna get him. In my fucking mind, I'm like, okay, dude, if that's Jason in that truck, I'm walking out. Because Jason should not fucking be driving. I mean, that would be the worst crime of all. Not, oh, is it scary, it's gonna be Jason in there. No, if Jason's actually in there driving, I'm out. And of course, they go around, make it a cool way of killing it and not doing it. But I swear to God, if he was driving that fucking truck, I was out. Like Michael Myers in the original Halloween, why was he driving? But we look over it because that's a classic. This is not. It's a remake of a fucking classic. Anyways, it's no good. Don't really watch it. You've already seen it. Killer Cut has nothing in it for you that you haven't really already seen. I'm FOZ. This was a piece of shit. Better luck next time, because there's going to be a next time. I'm out. Peace.